Welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Travel Alert. I'm Steve Glenn.
I'm Paul Glenn.
Hey, Paul, it's Thanksgiving week.
It's Thanksgiving. Time to eat too much and feel miserable
Turkey
for a couple
time.
days.
Now, I'll tell you what, though, before we start, we got to thank everyone that listens to this. You and I are so blessed. Our families, our team, our staff that we work with, our customers are the best in the world. We're very thankful. That's first and foremost. Before we start off with this week's edition, and this week's edition, Paul, is Steve's top 10 tips for making flying easier during the holidays.
I think a preamble to this is, the holidays are a time where you have a lot of people that are traveling for really the next 6 weeks.
Record setting.
That don't travel very often. No. So, you have to recognize that. You have to get into the right mindset to recognize that, especially if you're a regular traveler.
Yeah,
it's not going to be what you're used to for 10 months of the year.
Yeah, I know you and I are in the air about every 2 weeks. I would say on average during a year, and so we're used to knowing what to do, where to go. We don't have to read signs. Mm-hmm. We know it by instinct. Don't
tell the airlines we don't follow along on the safety briefings like they tell us to anymore either.
Paul, come on, that was a
Maybe
secret.
That's just me. I don't want to
That's
throw you
a
under the
secret.
bus. That's just me.
Okay, here we go. Number one thing you should do before you get ready to travel this weekend is download the airline app on your mobile phone. Check in online before you head to the airport. Guys, today airlines communicate almost everything on the apps, and you almost have to, I feel, many times download that app on the airline you're flying with.
Well, you want the app for sure, but you also want to make sure that you've got your profile built in that app so that they can also send text messages or emails, whatever your preference is for those communications. We just last night, we got stuck in an airport, delays due to snow in Chicago trying to get home, and it was great because you knew something whenever anything was changing. You started hearing all the phones beep.
And that also means you have to have a frequent flyer number with the airline, so you got to go onto their website, register, because that's how they trace you.
Well, and another secret to that, depending upon what your travels entail, is figure out, if you travel internationally, figure out where you go and figure out which of the domestic carriers is going to align the most with the international carriers. So get that frequent flyer number for the domestic carrier, and then you'll be able to still get the benefits of that international carrier's miles as well.
Number two, make sure your TSA Pre-Check or global entry number is listed on your reservation. You need to do that in advance, because that's how you're going to get through those lines. There's going to be massive lines. There will be 100 people in the general public line and 2 people in the TSA Pre-Check line. So if you want to save a lot of time, that's one way to do it.
And double check that when you check in and you get your boarding passes. Again, that'll be on the app. If that number is in there properly, it will say TSA Pre-Check on the top of that boarding pass.
If you want to save time and hassle this Thanksgiving, if you're flying, leaving on a jet plane, okay? Hey, number 3 is take an Uber or have your friends or relatives take you to the airport. Airports are just so massively busy during this holiday. If you can get somebody to take you to the airport or do an Uber, you're going to save a lot of time, a lot of frustration, and a lot of money.
A lot of money. I mean, I did the top of the parking garage here for the last 4 days, and it's still, there's a 40% savings off of being in the covered part of the parking garage, but still it was $70 for 5 days on the top of the parking garage.
Right, kind of a mucky muck spending $70. Okay, number 4, arrive at the airport at least 2 hours early, as the lines will be long, 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 especially if you're going Wednesday before Thanksgiving, coming home on Sunday. Guess what? Prepare for the worst, because those lines are long.
Yep. Yeah.
Number 5, this is my hot button.
Okay.
Take only carry-on luggage. Guys, do you really want to schlep that big old suitcase with you, check it on, wait an hour after you get at your destination to find the suitcase, right? Just take a carry-on. That's all you need. You can go for a week with a carry-on. What do you think?
I know that's your number one pet peeve because you say it in about every episode. But what you figured out is find somebody else you can get to schluck
That's
back
the
all
key.
the liquids and things you want.
So,
I carried back 10 bottles of olive oil this week.
So guess what? Paul and Becky went with me to Italy, and we had some olive oil. Was it 9?
And we had 10 bottles.
10
we
bottles.
harvested from our own olive trees. the first harvest that we've done.
VillaDestinoItaly.com, right?
And it got processed, so it was there for us to pick up and bring
so-
home.
so-
So I did my carry-on on the way over, but then he's like, well, how are we going to get these home? Paul, are you going to check a bag so we can get this olive oil home? So who's stuck doing all the things Steve tries to get out of?
I got out of the airport 20 minutes earlier than
halfway
Paul
home
did,
before I got
waiting
out of the
for that
airport.
baggage he had to
I'm not going to feel bad for parking on the top at $15 a day.
Hey, number 6, take a picture of your checked luggage because everything looks the same. If they lose it, you can at least show it to the people, say, this is what it looks like. It's easy to do that. So that's number 6.
One of the other things I did, and this was a suggestion from Corey that works with us, I got those Apple AirTags.
Yeah, AirTags.
And so I put that in the bag that I travel with most. And then I actually kind of followed our bag as we were in the airport. So I knew, it wasn't anywhere near as I was waiting for it to come through to claim and then recheck when we got into Chicago yesterday. So kind of knew, okay, we got some time. We can use the restroom, get comfortable over here. So when our bags do get ready, we can hustle over, get back through customs. And
Are they $20 a piece?
they are $20 a piece, I think is what I paid
Hey,
for them. Yep.
that might be the world's best
It's a great
Christmas present. We might have to do that for our staff.
I thought about it.
It's a
That's why
secret.
I got
Don't
it. Yeah,
tell
that's
them.
why I got him, was to test that out. So I thought that might be a great gift.
Number 7, get on the plane early. Guess what? First one's on, own the overhead bins. Okay? So if you get on early, you get the bin space, and there's going to be a lot of people that don't have enough room to put their carry-on even. They'll have to go out and gate check it.
And more importantly, for me, it's you get the bin space that's right above you or in front of you, because you can be towards the end and get bin space, but if it's 12 rows behind you, all of a sudden you've got to wait for 40 people
On
to
a
get
connecting
out.
flight,
And
it's
yeah,
terrible.
all of a sudden it sets you back an extra 5 minutes.
Number 8, scan or photograph your passport, driver's license, and credit cards. And this gives you an easy way to contact the banks in case you have any problems or credentials that are needed. And we found out there's a new app that you can download for global entry too.
Yeah, they did have an app and a separate line for the people that had that app yesterday coming through Chicago.
Yeah.
So I haven't researched it yet, but definitely need to take a peek at that and see what that does for us.
We gotta do that. So number 10, leave your laptop at home. This is vacation. It's Thanksgiving. Now the hardest thing for you and I is not work. I mean, I am like working 24/7. Man, I dig it. I want to work. I love my work. But people like #Snerdly. When he's not working, he wants to be playing. Okay? So, but it's time. You should really enjoy your family this time of year. Number 11, I actually said a list of 10, but here's a bonus,
Okay.
Paul. Please, 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 please do not wrap your Christmas presents if you're flying with them. Guess what? The first thing they're going to do going through security is say, I'm going to unwrap this and see what's in here.
Yeah, they have to be able to access and see everything that's in a bag. So, even if it's something that you don't think is going to cause any challenges, they have the right then to unwrap anything, to take a look at what's actually in there. So, just save yourself the hassle and the risk and pack it, and you can find a Walgreens and get that wrapping paper when you get there.
That's right. Bonus number 12 reads, finally, take a big dose of patience with you. As Paul said at the beginning, the people that are traveling this Thanksgiving weekend generally are families, people that don't normally travel.
Lots of children.
They're children. They're going to be screaming children in row 27. Hopefully you're not in row 27. And you got to just breathe, smile, and enjoy, saying, I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to have the best weekend with my family, my friends, and make this a memorable Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, and really what I've gotten to the point with that is besides the patience, you can do some things to be proactive for when you do have that screaming child behind you. We've all been there, we've all had the screaming child, so we can kind of feel for those parents because they're more miserable than anybody else on the plane. But you know, I've gotten to the point where I always take either some headphones or some earpods or whatever they're called. And that cancels out so much of that noise.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, you can get rid of and take control of that situation for yourself.
Hey, I saw Walmart offered Black Friday
Yeah.
earbuds.
$99.
$99, half price.
Yeah.
My gosh, what a
They-
talk about
they
a
are-
Christmas
they are,
gift.
yeah, they
Paul.
are savings. They
and
are.
then
They
Christmas
save you
gift.
on an airplane.
Okay, so my last two things I have is number one is a procrastinators alert. Ladies and gentlemen, don't wait till the last weekend. One of the things I would ask you to consider is one of the best gifts you'll ever give is the gift of travel. You might want to call our office, one of our friendly advisors, 402-435-8888. You can go to executivetravel.com or visit us down at our office at 1212 O Street in Lincoln, Nebraska. Think about your loved ones getting a gift certificate for a trip to Europe, a cruise, Hawaiian islands.
Vegas getaway.
A Vegas getaway, or just two airline tickets for two people. That's what people love. They want to dream. They don't want possessions. They want experiences. Don't forget to consider travel as part of that. The last thing on our list.
How many bonuses do we get today?
You get a bonus after a bonus. This is the super bonus edition.
This is like
here's an
a Black Friday of travel,
That's
weekly
it.
travel alert.
Hey, here's an end of the year warning. Now protect your airline and hotel elite status before the end of the year. Paul, I had to change some reservations in December. I was going to come back the 3rd of January. I'm coming back the 31st of December just so those miles come into the 2024 so I earn 1K status.
So you're going to get it at the very buzzer.
Very last
buzzer.
day of the year. I hope
That's
it's
what-
not canceled.
That's what happens when you use your points for everything.
Yeah, it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful year. A big Thanksgiving on behalf of Executive Travel and our team. And we are truly feel blessed and we truly are very thankful. And Paul, this has been a fun year with all these podcasts.
It has been, yeah. It's been something that 18 months ago I never would have thought that we'd been able to come up with enough content to keep this thing going. But because that's one of the blessings of travel is every day there's something different, so there's always something new to talk about, and people love to hear about what's going on in travel. So it has been fun, and we'll continue to keep going. But we would like you to give us insights if you have any thoughts on what future topics would be of interest to you. So you can do that below as well as like, subscribe, and share. And thank you for joining us. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.